Hi, everybody. I am Shelly B, a conservative Black sister surviving in a hot mess world. And tonight's hot mess is voter ID and why is everybody tripping over having ID to vote? And why is everybody tripping over being able to prove your citizenship when we all know that Democrats were letting illegal aliens vote? So, before we get into this, because I think this is very important, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you do so. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to push on past that so I can monetize the channel. So please just like and subscribe to this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I like to thank all the people on Instagram. I really love y'all. The people on Facebook, everybody. Please, if you're watching me on YouTube, please just like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching me on another platform, just go over to YouTube and please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, I haven't been on here in a while because I had a lot going on in my day job. I work in the film industry as a hairstylist and I was on a project and it got really busy and I was just exhausted when that project was over. Then I got a cold and I was sick and I just took the whole week off. I couldn't take it anymore. And before that, I was having technical difficulties. I had to revamp and reset up my setup and everything. But now everything is good. I feel great. I feel rested. And so much has gone on. And the reason why I picked voter ID is because I feel like that's just one of the most important things outside of the diabolical, demonic, wild things that we heard about the Epstein files. I will do a video on that later because I'm working on compiling some things together that support my position the way I feel on it. So that's why I haven't even spoke on that yet, because I just really want to have a clear discussion about the way I feel about all of this. Now, the reason why I am so enthralled with voter ID is because I'm a Black person and I just don't understand why Black people of all people are mad about voter ID. Because the bottom line is we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Democrats allowing illegal aliens to vote, giving them driver's license and allowing them to vote in elections. We already know that this election was corrupted. And now the proof is coming out of it now. And, I'm glad that we have to prove who we are. Another reason why I'm glad too is that people can get their ID. There's no excuse not to have the right ID if you are a citizen. Most people that are citizens of this country, they already have ID. You already have a birth certificate. You already have a driver's license and a social security number. And all of those things are easy to get. And I will tell you about that a little bit later. My son already has his passport. If you're a decent parent, you'll get your child a passport. I'm serious, because that's the start to them having the proper ID, and you've done that for them. My son, when he gets 18, when I switch over that last passport, he has that for 10 years and he just keep renewing it every 10 years after that. It's so lame that people don't have their proper ID. It's just crazy. What if you have to leave the country in a hurry? You don't have ID. I talk to a lot of people that don't have ID. Forget about voting for a second. You should just have your ID. And it's no excuse. Stop letting Democrats gaslight you into thinking that it's so difficult for you to get your ID. A woman is going to explain in here about getting ID if you're married and change your name. We're going to talk about all of that because I want you to get your ID. I don't care what walk of life you are. If you are an American citizen that is eligible to vote, you need to get your ID and go and vote. That should not be the reason why you don't vote. Now, let's watch this video by that CNN CNN anchor that I really can't stand, Abby Phillips, because every time I watch her, it's just full of crap. And they have one Republican guy on there. God bless him, because to me, he's always the voice of reason. I think it's crazy how on here they always have just one person that has an opposing point of view. It's just real crazy. But let's watch this video because they're going to talk all about the voter ID. And you're going to see how Democrats are gaslighting everybody into thinking that it's so hard to get your ID. It's not hard to get your ID if you are a citizen. Now, if you're not a citizen, you're not going to be able to get the ID. You're not going to be able to vote. As far as I'm concerned, if you cannot get your ID, you should not vote. It's the privilege. You understand? I feel like if you can't get it together enough to get online or call somebody and get the help you need to get your ID, I don't understand. Especially if you're from this country, you should have your ID. Any people that are in this country, especially with the way it's getting with the illegal immigration and all, you should have your ID. And you can't convince me that most people don't have ID. That's just BS to get everybody in their feelings like they always do. That's all Democrats do, is want to get you in your feelings, get you all emotional, and get you mad about something, and and hope to God that you don't find your common sense and think logically about what the hell is going on. So let's watch this video, because this is a trip. I've never seen people gaslight so much in my life. They're just on the wrong side of history about everything. Everything. And I don't understand how people are not talking to these people yet. How are you? I just don't understand how people still subscribe to liberalism, still ride with Democrats, especially Black people, because this whole reason why they want it where you don't have to prove your citizenship is because they want a bunch of people that don't have citizenship to vote in place of your Black behind. And they want them to be counted in the censuses to steal resources from your Black behind. Okay? Just look at it logically and stop being in your feelings and your emotions about how much you hate this president, and just really think about the policies that these people want to make against us. I don't even understand why we have to keep having this discussion, that these people are not for us. They have never been for us since the beginning of time, and we are allowing them to gaslight us and give us absolutely nothing all the time.
Did you see it? CNN's Scott Jennings clashed with Abby Phillip and his fellow panelists earlier this week, prompting a heated debate online.
The discussion was over the Save America Act, a bill that requires voters to prove they are U.S. citizens when they register to vote and requires them to show a valid photo ID at polling places. Take a listen to this spicy exchange.
The Save Act, that's exactly what we're talking about. That is actually going to...
Now, can y'all please listen? I don't care what nobody say. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And a lot of Black people get mad at other Black people for calling out your own people for doing shit to mess up the whole community, or they don't want you to call out people that are just being diabolical and doing the most against us. Just listen to how stupid this is. Just listen.
Continue to disenfranchise overwhelmingly a lot of people of color. There are so many civil rights organizations that have run the data.
Are you saying that Black voters
the Save Act
dumb to know what's good for them? I mean,
it sounds pretty.
It
sounds pretty.
And Abby Phillip interrupt your ass. She'll ask a question and then interrupt you from answering it all the time. All the time. It's like she can tell that the answer is going to make her look stupid, because the man asked umpteen times to explain how it gets in the way of people that are citizens of this country from voting.
Condescending to me.
That's not
you get 3/4 of Black voters who want voter ID.
The host, Abby Phillips, tried to clarify the concerns that some have with the bill, which led to this.
Most Americans don't have a passport. Many Americans don't have access to their birth certificate. Many women, a majority of women who change their names.
Why do they keep using the women that get married and change their names? That is such a small group of people that is ridiculous. And if you are too stupid to either keep your name and not change it, or do what you got to do to change your name. Many people do it all the time. Transgender people change their damn sex and their name. It can be done if you want to do it. You just don't want to do it. It's not a priority for you to do it. So let's be clear with this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Marriage have to provide additional proof that they've changed their legal names in order to register to vote.
I have heard Democrats
Scott, why
make these
don't you
same
actually
arguments.
respond to the substance of what I'm saying?
I am.
Now she's asking him to respond, but she'll never let him respond. They never let this guy speak because I think that he just always makes them look stupid, and they know not to let him get a word in edgewise.
And
as opposed to making this about something that it's not.
You're saying
it's not just about voter ID.
married
It's
women,
also about
black
who has
voters,
access
and rural people are too stupid to figure out how to register to
me?
vote.
That exchange happened on Wednesday.
I feel that they are making it seem like black people are too stupid. Rural people are too stupid to get ID. Most people have ID. This is a lie. Majority of Americans, this is what you need to vote. You're going to need a driver's license, which most people have that, or you'll need your social security card. You'll need your birth certificate. All of those things are easy to get. If you lost your social security card or you don't have your birth certificate, you can get that online. You can verify your ID online for the birth certificate. You don't even have to go in nowhere. I got my birth certificate mailed to me decades ago in the mail, and I didn't have to go in nowhere. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to get it. Now, if you don't have your driver's license, then you might have a little extra bit of a process. But this is why I say that parents do their kids a disservice. My son has a passport, okay? So my son will have his most important ID when he gets 18. It'll be easy for him to get any other thing that he needs. I have his social security card and I have his birth certificate and his passport. It's not hard to do. You can do it at the post office. Y'all are full of it. If you're making it seem like it's so hard to get the right ID, it's not. And if you have money, you can pay somebody to get the passport expedited for you. I've done that several times. Well, not several times, at least two times I did it. But it's very easy. It's called, I think the place is called, actually, It's Easy. That's where I got mine done at. And they do it for you really fast. I think I got it in 3 days. So it's not. And then George is saying the Constitution does not require Americans to present ID to vote. I don't care. You can make amendments to the Constitution, and they need to make one, because anytime Democrats have illegals voting and illegals counted in our census, so resources get allocated in the way that they're not supposed to be, because you have all these people from here participating in our census, voting in our elections. They need to change that. They need to change that. So I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what anybody says. And voting is a privilege, okay? I'm sorry. If you can't prove that you're from this country and you can't prove who you are, why should you be able to vote here with the amount of illegal aliens that Democrats got here right now? Give me a break. The only reason why they care about, and the thing is that at the end of the day, the Constitution is supposed to protect us from corrupt government, okay? That's what it's there for. And our government is corrupt, George. And that's the reason why now we need to prove that we're citizens, because they allowed a bunch of people to get driver's license and CDLs and all kind of stuff. They got all kind of social services and not being from here. And now that's about to end. And most Americans are for it. The majority of Americans are for it, George. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Wednesday night, the same evening that the House passed the bill by a slim 5-vote margin. Now heads to the Senate, where it's racked up at least 49 co-sponsors, according to Senator Mike Lee on X.
But those concerns about accessibility persist among civil rights advocates and among Democrats on the Hill. According to the BBC, an estimated...
One has to ask themselves, why is it only Democrats that are fighting like crazy fools to have it where you don't have to prove citizenship to vote? The same people that flooded the country with millions of illegals are the same people asking you to allow people that have no proof of that they are here to vote. You got to be crazy and retarded to not see what this is doing. And Black people really should feel stupid, because if these people are allowed to vote, they're voting in our place, because most of you mostly vote Democrat. And I think they know that Black people have woken up to the BS, and a lot of Black people left the party, especially the men. And eventually, the women will follow. I hope. I don't really care. I just don't subscribe to the liberal agenda at all, period. Not one bit. There's not any agenda that they have that I subscribe to. None of it. And I suggest that you guys do the research and look at the policy instead of being in your feelings and letting them scare you half to death. I don't have a spirit of fear. Fear not. what my God says. These people cannot fear me into making me move, because I'm going to still use my common sense and use my discernment and look at what is the best policies for me and my child more than anything. So make it make sense.
21 million Americans do not have documents proving their citizenship readily available, and 2.6 million lack.
Now notice that she says readily available. You have the document, you just have to get it. Because if you are, most people have their birth certificate. I think they said like 90% of Americans have their birth certificate or something like that. It was a high number and I was surprised. Or it's the Social Security. One or the other, most people have. Matter of fact, let's look this up so I can tell you the right information. Because I know like half of people in this country don't have a passport. And it should be no people that don't have a passport. You know, a passport, it's not really that expensive, but I can see how somebody that really doesn't have a lot of money doesn't have a passport. But most of you can afford a passport, but it's just not a priority to you. So that's on you. If you don't have the ID you need, that's on you. I don't think you should be allowed to vote, because it's not hard to get. It's not hard to get your birth certificate, and it's not hard to get your Social Security card. You can go right now online and put your information in it. It will mail you your Social Security card in mail. Same thing with your driver's license. I've lost my driver's license umpteen times. All you got to do is go online and they'll mail it to you right in the mail. The same thing with the birth certificate. You can use Verify Me online and get your birth certificate. It's no excuse. It's not like in the 80s and the 90s where you had to actually go physically in somewhere and get it. Stop it. You're letting these people fear you into some BS. Let's see. How many? I know it's like almost 47 to 50 something percent that don't have a passport. But how many people don't have? How many people don't have a birth certificate? Okay. They say that almost all citizens have a Social Security number, okay? Everybody has that, and it's very easy to get. All you have to do is go online, and they will send you the card. If you are a legal person here, they will send you the card. I got mine online, and I don't even remember what I had, if I had to even show anything to get or anything. It was just like very easy. So most people have a Social Security card. So they're lying to you. If you have a driver's license and Social Security card, you'll be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break. I really wish that all of you would get your passport, especially Black people, because a lot of you don't have it. Get your passport. Get your kid's passport. My son has had a passport since he was a baby. Get your kids a passport. They last for 5 years at a time. Get them a passport, because God forbid if you ever have to get up out of here. For as much as y'all claim to hate this country, what if you got to leave it? What if you want to leave? And what if you get an opportunity to leave and you can't? Even if you get an opportunity to leave, you can pay to get an expedited passport in like 2 or 3 days. It's going to cost you, but it can be done. So that's why I said it's full of crap. Stop letting these people gaslight you. So let's see how many citizens do not have a birth certificate, because I think that's also a lot of people have that, because it's just crazy that people fall for this. It's like Democrats always want to have you scared and in your feelings, one or the other. They're never going to stand on policy. They're just going to always have you scared and in your feelings. So approximately, let me see what this, I don't even have my glasses. It's hard to read. This is small. They say approximately 3.8 million adult U.S. citizens do not possess any form of documentary proof of citizenship, such as a birth certificate or a passport. Okay, so the birth certificate, I just had this pulled up. How many people don't have it? Hold on, because I want to tell you the right information here, because this is ridiculous. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, so it says most Americans do have a birth certificate, though it's not readily available. So anybody born in this country has a birth certificate. You may not have it like me. I didn't have mine. I had to go and get it. It was very easy. I don't remember even being an issue. I don't remember going to get it because I think I was in New York at the time because I was trying to get my passport and somehow I was able to do it over the phone or something. I don't remember the process because it was decades ago. But I say all that to say that I did do the research and you can get your birth certificate online. You can show your ID online through Identify Me or Verify Me, and you could get your birth certificate online and get it within a week or two. So it's no excuse. It's no excuse. Stop letting these people. I feel like Democrats, they always have some new thing to fear you. This, be scared of this, be scared of that, be scared of. It's like, stop being cowards for everything. This is a small thing. This is a small thing. I hope that everybody in America gets their proper ID and go and vote, especially Black people, because this is really affecting us this time. Because our vote is always that deciding vote, and never forget it, and we never get anything for it. So I'm hoping that this time, I feel like I already got what I voted for. I got what I voted for with RFK alone. Not to mention the no tax on overtime, the closed border, the job creation. I mean, it's a multitude of things that I feel are good. The pardons of a lot of the Black people, the unlimited funding, for the HBUs. It's just a lot. And if you're in your liberal bubble, they're going to make you think it's doom and gloom, doom and gloom. If we could sit there and sit through 4 years of the Biden administration, letting in millions of illegals, having a fake president, and all kind of people making all kind of executive orders on auto pen without him knowing if it's night or day. Surely you guys could get through 4 years of this president. And if he's no good, then we'll vote him out of office. Okay? Well, he's already going to be out of office. So this is the thing. I don't understand what the problem is. I really don't. It's like they constantly find some other thing to be mad at and to have you in your feelings about, but they'll never say what their contribution is to making anything better or what better policy they have instead. It's just hate, fear.
Any form of government issued photo ID. And many are especially concerned about the barriers this bill may introduce for people who have undergone a name change, like married women. Take a listen to Illinois Congresswoman Lauren Underwood.
The Save America Act would require...
And they always put a Black person up here to pander to Black people like we are freaking stupid. I feel like Black people should be so insulted by these people. Either they're stupid and ignorant sheep, or they really are just diabolical and know what they're doing. Because why are they trying to make it seem like it's good for us to allow illegals to vote and people that can't prove that they're even from this country to vote? Can you please explain that to me? Because nobody can explain that to me where it makes sense.
Require your passport or your birth certificate to match your current name in order to be able to vote. If y'all got married and changed your name, your birth certificate would...
You know how many of my friends got married and kept their maiden name only because for professional reasons and stuff like that, people already know them as that name and they didn't want to change it or whatever. And if you change it, you go through the channels that you need to do to change it. Or don't change it. There's no excuse for a person born here or a person that's a citizen of this country to not have documents stating that. Mostly everybody has that.
Not match your current name. Nearly 69 million women in America have a birth certificate that does not match their current name. And therefore, 69 million American women would no longer be eligible to vote.
They are eligible to vote. You can vote. Go get your ID. What the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? Why would you take somebody else's name and not get your paperwork right and don't take their name then if you don't want to do what you got to do to make it a legal name change? It's just so dumb. Dumb people shouldn't even vote Because this is how you get a mayor like Mandami. And this is how you get blue cities with these dumbass mayors. Because I feel like you should have common sense to vote.
But despite the concerns, voter ID laws are incredibly popular. Here's CNN's own analyst, Harry Enton.
I think a lot of people make the argument that people of color, non-white Americans, have a harder time procuring a photo ID to vote. But even here, take a look here, favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it, 82% of Latino, 76%.
And my thing is, Black people should have the highest number in this poll because they are trying to get illegals to vote to replace your vote. They're trying to outnumber Black people.
Of Black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this: voter ID is not controversial in this country.
Look at that. Voter ID is something that people across the board, Democrats, Blacks, whites, Latinos, whatever, they all agree. This country has been so divided, but they're not divided over that. Yet and still, Democrats are trying to tell everybody that we are all wrong and they know what's best for everybody. And we need to have non-citizens be able to vote in our elections.
Photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race.
The president has also come out in favor of the legislation alongside big names like Elon Musk and even Nicki Minaj. The rapper and recent Trump ally has been seen active on social media, urging people to call their representatives to pass the bill despite not being a U.S. citizen.
You know why? Because she's smart. Because she knows that them not wanting people to prove citizenship to vote is so that they can outnumber the votes that the Americans really want. You know, the policies that we really want. They want a bunch of people that can barely understand the language, that they can tell anything, that they could give them all these social services. And then don't get me started on social services, because don't tell me that poor people don't have ID in America. Because if you get social services, you damn sure had to show ID, and you damn sure had to show a birth certificate, and you damn sure had to show a social security number. Because when I got money to pay my arrears during COVID to my landlord, I had to show all three. So stop it. They have ID. They have ID. Just now, they made it where illegals don't have to show no ID to get social services, but we have to. Any people that vote for these people, you have to be crazy, because they are, just like Malcolm X said, they are enemies of America. They are globalists. They don't want to see us be successful in this country. They don't care about Americans, clearly. And they damn sure don't care about Black Americans.
So I think she said she is a U.S. citizen and she got her Trump gold card. So I'm not sure if we have that actually on record, but she said
Listen, Nicki Minaj had something, because that girl done been all over the world. All over the world. So she thinks she's doing something by trying to roast Nicki, okay? But at the end of the day, she's still here. She's still making her money. She still has her old fans and a lot of brand new ones. And she's not thinking about this woman sitting on here trying to roast. That's why I say, Black people, we can be our own worst enemies sometimes. You know, people like that. Because I'm trying to figure out, how did Nicki Minaj go on every continent on this earth without documentation? Somebody explain that to me. I'd like to know how you do that.
She's been a citizen for a while, so I don't know what the actual deal is. I'm taking that from her ex account.
Yeah, good for her. Look, I love when people bring up the married women who changed their last name thing. Been there, done that. My maiden name was Athey. Changed it when I got married. And if you went through the process of changing your name, then you would have all of the documents that you need to register to vote. When you change your name, you have to get a new social security card. If you have a passport, you have to get a new passport. If you have a driver's license.
That's why a lot of women don't change their name and they keep their maiden name. You're married on paper, but you keep your name just for, business purposes. I know a lot of people in my industry of entertainment, they keep their name because they are known with that name. If you change your name, people are not going to know who you are. And it's like, you got to start all over. It's like a brand new person that everybody has to find out who you are and all that. So a lot of people in my industry don't change their names when they get married.
License, you have to get a new driver's license. And throughout that process, you have to present your original birth certificate and then your marriage license, which is provided to you. You get 3 copies free when you file those with your local government office. So everything you need is right there. And you would have already had to do that, by the way, again, to be able to drive, to be able to get a mortgage, to pay rent, all of those things. So to me, bringing up the married women.
So they're saying this for people that don't know better. Because people that know better know that it's not difficult to get your ID if you are a citizen of this country. There is a record of you. This is not the 1800s. Even in the 1800s, they kept better records. I mean, come on. Y'all know good and well you could get your ID to vote. And I feel like we should have it where no person that is not a citizen of this country, they should not be allowed to vote. Why would we want people that are not even from here voting in our election? I don't think that anybody that's not from here should be, a seated person in our government. Go to your country and go sit on the government over there. Though you're not going to come from another nation, and most of them are third world, and make policy for us here. That doesn't make any sense.
Changing the last name thing is a little bit silly. The process is already annoying just because you have to go wait in the Social Security
office. A lot of people
office,
told me
right?
about how long it is.
It does take a long time, but if you're already doing it, you have all the documents that you need to register to vote or to show the ID at the polling place.
I think the numbers are just what they are. Like you saw the polling at CNN that most people are in support of this. And when you talk to people that are probably in both of our worlds, they're like, what's the problem?
Right.
And I think what the concern, particularly because we can't.
She's going to keep doubling down on why it can't be done.
Really relate in this space that we're in is that there are people that actually don't have photo ID. And so there are just real concerns that exist there. 18% of citizens over the age of 65.
Then you get it. If you don't have photo ID, then you should get it. Get it. So you can travel, so you can drive, so you can have identification. I mean, it's just stupid at this point. Everybody should have their papers. Especially, you can't tell me that people that are not from here that are citizens, they have their documents. They have them because they know they better have them walking around here without no documents. They might get sent back home if they can't show that they really are from here and prove it. I don't know any people that don't have documents. Most of my friends have passports and stuff like that. I can't stress enough, Black people. Black mothers, if you're single mothers, whatever, get your child a passport. Because now, when they get 18, they don't have to worry about ID. They have the most important ID. That American passport, everybody in the world wish they could have it. And you are right here entitled to that passport and don't have one. You're damn fool. Period. I don't care. You're full. Don't get a new wig this month. And get you and your kids' passports. Because if you're on social services, you have all your ID because you can't even apply for social services without all that. Well, maybe now they made it different before all the immigrants. But I'll tell you, when I went for that one shot deal, I had to show everything. Driver's license, social security, and birth certificate. When you sign your kids up for school, you have to show their birth certificate. So get your kids a passport. Get their passport. So that they don't have to be like you scrambling to get ID to vote. When your kid gets like 18, they already have valid ID to vote. I I feel like every person should have a passport. And the people that talk about how much they hate this country and they hate this president, you really should have ID, because why don't you leave? You might have to leave. Since you hate it here so much, you might have to leave, and you might get an opportunity to leave, and you don't have a passport.
Don't actually just have their photo ID readily available. This is 16% of Latino voters, 25% of Black voters, 15% of low-income voters. So, there's a concern for the marriage change also, because people don't go through all the steps. A lot of people get married and maybe didn't do it. Like one of my friends didn't do it for 2 years. She didn't go through the actual name change and she got married. And that's, I don't know why. You call it irresponsible. You can call it wasting time. She didn't go through the proper documentation and get her license changed and all that stuff. She should, but
she don't need to if she doesn't take the guy's name. She doesn't need the girl's gonna tell her that.
And I think in that case, she could still use her birth certificate because her name wouldn't have been legally changed.
Right. If she has it readily available. And I think that even the law, if you look at it, it just appears to be neutral, right? It's just neutral to supporters. But when you think about the elderly voters, the low income voters, recently married voters, or the rural voters, you have to remember that some people don't have their original birth certificate. They may not even have a passport to be like that second support of showing your identity. A lot of people in this country don't have their passport. Replacing those documents requires fees, it requires travel.
They try to make it seem like this cannot be done. This cannot be done. Most people have the ID that they need. Most people have a birth certificate, a social security card. Most people have that. Because especially people that are on social services, and they talking about these old people that are on social services, they had to show all of those documents to get on social services. This is the new thing where you can get on social services and don't have no ID. They're going to ask you for every last thing about your life before they give you any money from the government. Except if you're an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, recently. So stop playing with me, please.
People actually don't have access to travel. Again, it's not really in my world. So that's why it's easy for people on TV to say they can't relate to this, because we can easily travel and live in big cities for the most part. A study from last year showed that 1 in 4 households are living paycheck to paycheck. That's a reality.
What does living paycheck to paycheck have to do with a birth certificate and a social security card and a passport? Because most people that say they're living paycheck to paycheck got a wig on. They have sneakers or whatever they feel that they want to wear. You can sacrifice for 1 month of bullshit that you buy to get your passport. What does it cost? $100? I don't even know how much it costs. It's not that much money. You should have ID. A lot of people have non-driver's license ID. I remember New York City gave out a ID that was a New York City ID or something like that. You can get ID. You can get ID. It's not that difficult. Go down to the DMV or whatever you got to do and figure out what you got to do to get your documents. If you are a legal citizen of this country, your documents are here. You just have to get them. So stop letting these people gaslight you and make it seem like you cannot get these documents.
In this country, the census showed that 10% to 11% of Americans are living below the poverty line. That's a reality in this country. So when you think about birth certificates, passports, transportations, time off work, no Wi-Fi, things that maybe don't make sense in
Is she stupid? All of that stuff you can get online. The passport, you have to go to the you have to go in, because you have to show your picture and all this and that. Everything else can be done online. You have to go into the DMV the first time you get your driver's license. Stop it. Stop letting these people do this. And it's always a Black person that they have, because that's who they're pandering this to. This is who they want to think that it's going to be a problem for you. You can't do it. They always try to keep you in this victim state of where you can't do something. You can't achieve something unless they're helping you. Oh, Black people can't get ID. Poor people can't get ID. So we have to come and save them. Y'all have to have higher expectations for yourself than these people have for you. I'm just saying. Hi, Khalib. God bless you too. Thank you for coming in.
our particular world, there are a lot of reasons why people probably aren't able to get access to things that most people are saying, this is so easy, this is so silly, just solve it. And so that's probably part of the argument that's coming that should have been made as they're discussing it. There's actually just really—
She's just going to go on and on and on and on about how it can't be done. The white girl's sitting there like, well, this, you can do this, that, and this and that. But she's going to keep doubling down that it can't be done, or that it's going to be a problem, or you're not going to be able to vote. You can't do it. There is nothing that you cannot do, period. If somebody else is doing it, you can do it. Stop listening to these people. They want you to believe that you're on the bottom and you're dumb and you can't do nothing without their help. They have her convinced of it.
Things happening in today's society that may not be relatable to the person on TV discussing it, but people at home who are less fortunate or have hindrance.
Hi, Khalid. You said, I saw that you know Doc Rich. I don't really know Doc Rich, but I do share his videos because I like his position a lot of the time. Yes. So I do share his videos. I come on here to show Black people. I mean, my channel is for everybody, but mostly I want to share with Black people and other liberals that there are people that have huge followings out here, millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, whatever. And they come on every single day that do not subscribe to the liberal agenda. They are not people like this woman right here that doesn't believe that you can achieve anything you want to achieve in life. You know, they don't have the plantation mentality that you need Democrats and liberals to save you and that you can't make it without them. Dr. Claude Anderson says that immigration was the worst thing that happened to us because they convinced us that we needed them for something. And we've been acting needy ever since. And they've convinced us that we can't make it without them, even though they do nothing for us. Nothing.
Or are not as mobile, are like, I don't have time or time off work to go do these things.
Yeah, I grew up in a small rural town, so I definitely knew people who struggle with those things. I mean, I certainly wasn't raised well off, but I never knew anybody that didn't have access to a driver's license.
Now, see, the white girl is breaking it down, okay? The Black lady is trying to make it seem like if you Black, if you poor, or whatever, you can't get this ID. And the white girls will, hey, I grew up in a rural place. I can tell you that in a lot of those rural places, those people's got a driver's license. Even if they got some beat up old pickup truck they driving because out there you need a car to drive. I knew a girl used to fix her own car from a place like that. So listen, this is a fallacy and it's BS that they are trying to convince you that you can't get ID to vote. They want you to fight for this like they always do because they know Black people have a lot of influence throughout the world. And they want you to jump on board their agendas to push their agendas forward. And then you have dumb sheep Negroes that are out here pushing an agenda that is going to work against you. And that makes me very angry.
A birth certificate, social security card, a lot of those documents you can actually get in the mail if you pay like a $10 fee.
That part.
I mean, I know $10 is worth more to some people than others, but I do think a lot of this just comes down to if you're not willing to put in the work to get the driver's license, maybe I'll say the quiet part out loud, should you really be voting?
Well, that part. If you don't want to put the work in that you have to do to prove your citizenship in this nation so we can have a fair election, then don't vote. Don't vote. A lot of you don't vote anyway, whether you have the IDs or not. So stop it. Stop acting like you care. Because a lot of you don't vote anyway. I wish you would vote. I wish you would get all your ID, your driver's license, your social security card, your birth certificate, and your passport. Because once you have all of those things, you can go right to the post office and get a passport. It's simple. It takes forever to come in the mail. I prefer to go to one of them services and pay a couple $100 to get it faster. But, you know, if you have an itinerary, you can do it like that. listen, you have to stop letting these people use you in this way. They're using you. The white girl's hip to it, though. She sees it. And she is countering her on every issue on how you can obtain the ID and how stupid she sounds because most people have the ID they need. And I'm telling you, if you have a driver's license and you don't have your social security card or birth certificate, you can easily get it online. And then she said something about, oh, the people don't have Wi-Fi. That's a lie. Everybody has a phone. All the illegal immigrants that came over here had phones, and they're supposed to be poor with nothing but the clothes on their backs because they used that app to get here. So stop it. Stop it.
That's the thing. It's like basically the law is like, well, if you're going to be lazy in this regard, you don't deserve to vote. But we have made in this country that everybody deserves to vote, no matter which.
Everybody does not deserve a vote if you are not a citizen of this country. You don't. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Democrats giving illegals ID and getting them in to vote. I have seen the videos of illegals saying they voted. And Khalib said that just shows their racism. Yes, I think Democrats are so racist. Because racism, you can be bigoted, you can be prejudiced, okay? Just like Paul Mooney says, I can say I'm going to kill you all day long, but if I never kill you, then I'm not a murderer. Same thing with racism. If you never act on racism, you're not a racist. You're bigoted, you're prejudiced, and stuff like that. But to be racist, you have to actually act on it. You have to hurt somebody or do something to them to express this dislike and do something to harm. So that means you create political policies. You could burn their houses down. You can hang and lynch them. That's racism. Okay, most people are not racist. Most people are bigoted and prejudiced, and Black people can be just as bigoted and prejudiced as anybody else. Latinos are bigoted and prejudiced just as much as anybody else, and on down the line. So that's BS. The only people that are racist are the people that make the policies and make your life a living hell. Those are the racists. The racists are the people that attack you and harm you just because you're Black or just because you're white. That's a racist. Everybody says, oh, this person racist, this person. No, they might be bigoted and they might be prejudiced. They have a right to feel that way. I don't care. I feel like I'm probably bigoted and prejudiced in a lot of ways too. Everybody is. Everybody has their prejudices in life about all kinds of things. If you're saying you don't, you're a liar. You're a liar. I know most of you are prejudiced against conservatives if you're liberals and vice versa. So shut up and just go get the ID and vote. If you don't have the ID, you can't vote, period. It's done. They voted for it and again, it got passed. So go get your vote. Go get your ID and shut up. And while you're at it, get your kids a passport and shut up.
Perspective we want to judge them from. I could say that when I get married, I'm going to go change my documents immediately. And I might not have my birth certificate, but if I don't do it, then I don't deserve to vote. But I don't believe that's true. It might be that I was super busy.
Exactly. Khalib says the reason why somebody wouldn't agree with voter ID is because they want to cheat. Period. That's why. And the reason why a Black person like this would sit up there and advocate for it is because they're sheep and they're propagandized into thinking that, you know, they're on the bottom somehow and they need liberals to save them. I don't think that. I don't think that I need them. And we don't need them. We haven't gotten anything by being with them. I'm going to show you what Dr. Claude has to say about that.
Or it wasn't a priority to me until I realized on election month that I wouldn't be able to vote without these things. So there are probably a lot of instances that speak from a place where you are very responsible and organized.
Listen, and there will be nobody that goes to that voting booth that doesn't know that they need citizenship to vote. Because you know, it's been all in the media, all in the media, all in the media. You know what you got to do. After you watch this, go and figure out how to get your ID and get your kids a passport. Black women, Black mothers, get your kid a passport. Do something good for your kids. That passport is like gold. Everybody from all over the world wish they had a U.S. passport. That's a gift you could give to your child, and hopefully they won't be as lame as you, and they'll actually have a lovely life where they'll get to use it.
then a lot of other people, like I said, the 10% of the population that would like to participate in elections that people fought for historically for them to participate in, that really just don't have the $10 to spend on that. They want to spend it on groceries.
I also think, this wouldn't be such a conversation if we didn't have the country flooded with 20 million illegal aliens during the past administration.
Thank you.
I know that there's a lot of studies that claim voter fraud is rare. It's also very hard to find, right? And so I don't think we know the true number of fraudulent votes that happen every election cycle, but we do know that it does happen.
It does.
And there are some elections that are decided by 6, 12 votes. And so I do think it's important that if people show up to the polls, that they are able to produce proof that they are who they say they are.
And when you see the main criticism coming from civil rights organizations, you have to remember, like post Jim Crow era, Reconstruction, post that time, there were.
This is where I go off on Black people. It is not 1826. It's 2026. Why are you telling me something that happened in the 1800s? Why? Most people probably didn't have ID in them days, and slaves didn't have ID and stuff like that. That we're not in 1826. It is 2026. Everybody has ID. If you don't have it, you can get it. This is what I say, right? So many Black liberals will say that I'm a coon, I'm I'm on the plantation, I'm a Sambo and an Uncle Tom, but I'm on the plantation. You're the one on the plantation talking about stuff from 400 years ago. Uncle Tom, who's an Uncle Tom today? I mean, give me a break. Everybody has their own free will in life. You choose to do whatever you choose to vote for, whatever you're going to vote for. I choose to vote and live my life with the policies that I feel are right for me and my child. Why they get so mad and angry because you don't accept their position is beyond me. It's like they're crazy. This woman is sitting there, no matter what this girl says, she's sitting there and she's still doubling down that it's going to be an issue to make it. That's basically what Democrats do with everything with Black people. They fear you into thinking that, oh my God, you're not going to make it. Oh my God, you need us. We can make it better for you, and we'll give you more social services and this. And I mean, all stuff that we don't need. We can do just fine without them, just like we did before the Civil Rights Act. We were doing just fine without them. We had our own everything. Black Wall Street, we had our own beaches, hospitals, car services, bus companies, hospitals, ambulance. I mean, everything we had of our own because they wasn't messing with us like that. And through aligning with these people, we let them manipulate our minds into thinking that we need them when they're the ones that need us. And now that Black people are waking up and the curse is being lifted, they know they got to find a new voting base, and they think they're going to use us to get it. You have people like this woman that's going to stand up there and fight for the very people to come to replace her vote. And she's sitting up there telling you that you're not going to be able to get the documents you need to vote. You better get the documents you need to vote. We better vote more than we have ever voted in the history of voting. You better look at those democratic policies and make sure they align with what you believe in. You better make sure they align with your faith and your values. You better do the research and vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
Actual laws that were put in place that appeared to be neutral on paper, but they also provided poll taxes or literary tests or grandfather clauses. Or
she's talking about shit from hundreds of years ago that does not exist today. They're constantly keeping you in the slave mentality. Because somebody that's not a slave is like, plantation, bin clothes. I'm living my best life. I'm going to take and utilize all these wonderful things around me and live my best life and create the best life I can imagine. I ain't thinking about what they did 400 years ago, because that's not a reality in my life today.
good character tests that all prevented and have shown in numbers, large numbers, people of color from voting. So civil rights organizations, some of them are specifically put in place to protect stuff like that from ever happening again.
North Carolina passed.
No, they're put in place by liberal white people like the NAACP to make sure Black people stay stuck on stupid and never advance. It's like quicksand.
A voter ID law, it might have been 10 years ago at this point, and Black turnout actually went up after they passed it.
Did you hear what she said? The white girl is cooking. Cooking. The white girl said that when they made everybody have the documents to vote, more people voted. And I think that's what's going to happen this time. And I really do think this time that Black people will go out there and get out there and vote. And I know at least me, that's all I'm going to be talking about. They're going to get their documents, they're going to get their passports, and they're going to get their babies' passports, and they're going to vote. That is what we have to do. If we're divided on everything, let's not be divided on that. You need your ID and your babies need a passport. Get your identification for your whole entire family so your kids, when they turn 18, they can vote. They can travel. They can go abroad. They make it seem to you like getting a passport is so hard. If you have a driver's license and you call in or you go online and get your birth certificate and social security number, you can easily get a passport. You can go right to the post office and get it. 1, 2, 3. The paperwork is like a page and a half long. Stop letting these people make it seem like it's something so difficult.
Well, that's one state, but if you look at Louisiana, voters dropped 130,000 in 1896 because of some of these laws.
She's saying from 1896 they dropped. This girl is talking about recently when everybody was made to show ID, the voting went up. She's talking about what happened in 1896. This woman is crazy. I'm telling you, she is crazy. That is a sheep to me. And that is somebody that we should cast out from our community. People like that should be cast out. To me, that is almost like the devil. A demonic entity is in her that she cannot see reasoning. And look at the white girl's face. She's like, are you freaking kidding me?
I talked about historically.
Right, but I'm talking about like modern law, not a poll tax.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. She's talking about right now, she's talking about 1836 or something. Give me a break. These are the people that they put on TV to pander to us. And white people get somebody with some sense. Oh my God. I can't. These people are exhausting. Liberals and the Black women liberals, I'm telling you. Female liberals are the worst. The men are horrible too. But I just feel like the women are the ones holding out the most. It's like they're the most brainwashed by this. This Black woman really, really thinks that there is a problem with asking for citizenship to vote. She really thinks that it's something.
Yeah,
right, but just voter ID.
I'm talking about that historically, civil rights organizations fight so this never happens. That's why they exist. That's why they need to exist.
All right, up next, a CBS News producer announced her exit.
The girl's like, all right. It's like, keep it moving. Keep it moving. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break, please. Because that's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That there are people that are that brainwashed. What's wrong with my screen here? That people are that brainwashed that they really just can't see. They cannot see. And it's like you're wasting your time talking to people like that. It's a waste of your time. It's a huge waste of your time because it's like talking to the wall. It's like talking to yourself. It's like talking to a deaf, dumb, blind, and mute person when you try to explain things like this. And you try to explain to them, sweetheart, the plantation has been closed for hundreds of years. We are free. Our ancestors already had these fights. We are free. Nobody's holding you back but you. The choices you make in life mess you up. Now, mind you, there may be a bunch of people in prison that are innocent, but most of them, their choices that made them get in there. So if we as a community could take accountability for the dumb shit we be doing, we could be so much better off. But we can't, because we always have the Black people that's going to pander and say, oh, 1826, this happened to us, and oh, on the plantation they did this, and oh, before we were emancipated, this happened. Instead of focusing on the reality of what is happening right now. I love the teaching of Buddhism, because Buddha was saying, like, you have to use your imagination to think about the past and the future. The only thing that exists as true for humans is the present. And presently, you're free. Presently, you could get all the ID you need online. Presently, there's so many opportunities that exist for you here, more than anywhere in the world. That's why you have people from all over the world wanting to come here. You have access to a U.S. passport that anybody from another country would tell you you can go almost anywhere on earth with that passport, and they all wish they could have one. Yeah, Khalif says white liberals are the worst, just like Malcolm X said. And then you have the Black ones that are programmed by the white ones. That's who programmed you, because ain't no Black person programmed you to think like that. Because before aligning with liberals, we had our own everything. There wasn't nothing. Black people didn't have their own. They had their own beaches, their own, own everything. On supermarkets, on gas stations. You would get the green book, and it'll tell you all across America what gas stations to stop at that were safe for Black people. What hotels, motels, restaurants. We had everything. And we lost it all aligning with those people and adopting their mentality of us. That's how they think of us. And we just adopted that mentality. And it's a curse. It's breaking, it's lifting, but not fast enough. People need to wake up and really pay attention to what's going on. Let's listen to this little video right here by Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm telling y'all need to really look at the lectures of some of these people, and they're all getting old, and they're all, they're reaching the age of where they're not going to be here anymore. And we really need to, listen to what these people have to say. Y'all listening to the wrong damn people. Y'all listening to the wrong damn people. You listen to people that do not care about your best interest at all. At all. All they want is your vote, and they're going to pander to you for that, and they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. And they showed you that by letting in millions of illegals and then giving them all the social services. And if you look, they always try to make it seem like Black people are on social services and Black people are the criminals and the Black Americans this and Black Americans that. No, it would be Black immigrants that are on all the social services. Because foundational Black Americans are not the ones taking up most of the social services. So stop it. Stop it. I have a list on my page of all of the social services and who gets the most. And Black people are like 5th, and it's like 20% of Americans, Black people. The rest is all immigrants from every corner of the earth. A lot of Latinos and I think Somalis or something. So give me a break. These people, we allow these people to make us think so low of ourselves that we need them to do nothing for us. They just have you thinking that, so you'll vote for them. And it's the greatest hoodwink of all time. And then liberals, the white ones know better not to say nothing to me. But the Black ones think they got it like that because they look like me. So they want to, they want to crash out on me because I don't think like them. I wasn't raised to think like you. My grandparents came from the Jim Crow South. I know all about it. I'm not trained to think like you because I did my research and I've read. I mean, I watched all of the lectures of people like Jean-Claude Anderson. I watched a lot of lectures from Dr. Hendrik Clark and just all kinds of Black American and African scholars to hear what they had to say. And once you do that, no colonizers or no white liberals or whatever you want to call them could convince you that you're less than and you need them and that you can't make the most of all the opportunities that are in front of you. If they could come out of slavery and create Black Wall Street, what is wrong with y'all today? And then you'll have people say, oh, whoa, they burned us out and they bombed us. That doesn't mean you can't rebuild it. And just for the record that you know, it was Democrats that did it. It's like y'all have amnesia. Listen to Dr. Anderson. Oh, Lord have mercy.
You're going to have an unending influx of immigrants into the country. And
now, he said this years ago about the immigrants they're going to spill in here.
That's what Dr. Price is talking about. And nobody, no Black politician, no Black organization wants to deal with that issue. They will avoid it at all costs, even though in their hearts they know that's one of the biggest problems for Black folk.
Mm-hmm.
We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years, approximately 8 to 6 million Hispanics coming into the United States.
Well, shit, it is more than that. I don't know when he said this, but now it's more than that. Ben Carson, yes, it's so many people. It's so many people that I listen to. What I would tell y'all to do is watch Hidden Colors and write down, because this is what I did. And I read a lot of books before that. But watch Hidden Colors, because I know a lot of y'all don't like to read. Watch Hidden Colors and write down all of the names of the leaders that spoke in that and the scholars that spoke in that. And then go watch their lectures and go read their books. And I guarantee you, you will come out of that process thinking like me, unless you're stupid. But I feel like anybody that does that study could never be a liberal. Could never.
And 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being number 2. You're going to go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a 3rd grade education would tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2,
we cannot make significant progress on racial equity. This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans. This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040.
This is how Democrats feel about you. That's your president that y'all was crying tears that won. I saw Black people crying tears. They was happy that Biden was in office. And they're mad that people did not want to vote for Kamala, whatever her name is. Because people with discernment and sense and people that study and know the agenda of these people, we know they're full of crap.
This country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do in terms of raw numbers.
And just so y'all know that Puerto Rico, because a lot of talk about this with the Bad Bunny thing, I didn't even comment on that because the way I feel, I wasn't a fan of Bad Bunny before the Super Bowl, and after that performance, it ain't nothing changed. So it's like, I didn't even talk about that because I don't even care. Congratulations, Seahawks. That's about all I'm going to say about that. But the reality is that Puerto Rico, we pay more into them than they pay into this country. You understand? They are U.S. territory, and maybe it's of some benefit to the country to have that land over there or whatever, but we pay more into them. Like I feel like 40% of the people there or something are on social services or whatever. So, you know, it's not, they want to make it seem like black people are the problem all the time. And like everybody's paying into us, but it's just not true. It's not true. And they want you to think that black people are on the bottom. No, you know, and then they, every race of people, they say, oh, you know, I mean, every nationality, oh, black people, black Americans, they have no culture. We have no culture, but everybody does everything we do. Reggaeton ain't nothing but hip hop in Spanish. Give me a break. Give me a break, and we don't get the respect that we deserve, but we can in that voting booth. And I'm telling you, this is the most important thing. This election, these elections and these midterms are the most important thing for us right now, because we got to get rid of these people. Really look at your values, and then look at the liberal agenda and look at the values. Look at the people that make that up. Just look at them. And you tell me if that aligns with your values and your faith and your beliefs and the world that you want to leave for your children. Nobody could ever convince me to vote for that. I don't care. I'd rather die than cast my vote for them. And that's my hand to God. No, thank you.
We're going to have to be working with a whole group of people that, in fact, are the single most diverse democracy in American history and anywhere in the world.
By the way, what you all know, but most people don't know.
Now, y'all voted for him, and people like him. That they all feel like this. Biden has always been a big old racist. I was just very surprised that he ever got in office because, you know, he was a senator in my tri-state, and my grandparents used to always say he was a big old racist and a lot of other words too for him. I just can't even imagine. And black people crying tears for this man to be in office. And mad at the people that chose to vote for Donald Trump over him and over Kamala Harris. Just policy-wise, just if you take out your emotions and all the propagandized and all the indoctrination, and just look at the policies of each. Look at the agendas of each, and look at the people that make up each. Look at the people status or whatever that make up each. And you tell me which is better for us to align with. Whether I like them or not, I could care less about any of these people. I'm looking at the policies that's going to benefit me and my son and aid in my future in this country. And a leader that actually is leading or trying to. Y'all make it make sense. Khalib says Kamala would extend prison sentences for African Americans. Yes, she would. I don't see how anybody could vote for her after the way she did to people in Cali and locking up parents, you know, locking up black parents. And hey, Khalif says Bad Bunny's lyrics are sickening. Now, I wasn't even going to talk about Bad Bunny, but his lyrics are very nasty and disgusting. They're very disgusting. His image is disgusting because when I saw he was going to be on the Super Bowl, I didn't know nothing about him. So I'm going to research before I make an opinion because that's just how I do everything. I'm not going to, slay the brother because I don't know him and I don't know his music. But I did go look at the music. I looked at some of the videos. It's very demonic and it's a hot ass mess. And I just don't think that is appropriate for a family event. I just don't. I thought, and then when I did finally watch it, I thought that it was just a lot of twerking and men humping and doing the most. I just didn't think that it was appropriate. And if I was Puerto Rican and I was a Latino, I would be very insulted by that because it's not, I don't feel that it shows a positive light. Just like the Kendrick Lamar, I just thought it was ghetto as hell. It's ghetto as hell. It's ghetto. And I just don't think that everybody fits into that. The Bad Bunny performance, the bodega said, we take EBT. Latinos take EBT. Y'all proud of EBT? Like, I don't get that. I don't understand any of that. And Khalif said he's tired of the division. Me too. But again, if you think like that, stay away from me. I'll be glad to be divided from them. And I'm not trying to convince them. My mentor always says you're not trying to convince anybody. If you have to work too hard to convince them, then that's not who you're looking for. You're looking for like-minded people. And I have found thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of like-minded people. So the people that come in my pages and argue with me, I really don't care because I'm not looking for you. Clearly, you are not in my frequency. And I don't care. Like the stuff they say, it doesn't move me. They can't insult me or anything because I just think they're stupid and I think they're sheep and I feel empathy for them. Like, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do type of situation, And a lot of them, I end up blocking them. I'll talk to them for a couple of times and then I block them because I think they're crazy. So, we probably should be divided. But, hopefully we can pull together enough sheep. You understand? And wake them up. Like Malcolm X said, they're useless if they're not awake. You know what I mean? So I just leave them. That's how I say. That's what I think about it.
Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Second thing.
So this is what y'all dealing with. These are the people that you want me to align with. And I tell y'all all the time, I'm never going to align with these people. You can be mad. Like my grandma said, you could be mad or you could get glad. I don't care. I don't care. And people, I've been like this for decades. And people come in my pages, only on Facebook, really, people do this. Every once in a while, I have people on Instagram come in there acting crazy. But it's mostly Facebook because Facebook is very liberal. And I never used to even look at Facebook for like 10 years. But then since I started doing a podcast, I started looking at it more just to see what people are saying. And it's a lot of people that are very liberal over there. And a lot of them are very ignorant. I've never seen people so ignorant and so mean and nasty and demonic as the liberals on Facebook. Because even during the vaccine mandates, they were always the worst. Like, oh, I hope you die. Hope you. And then somebody told me in there, oh, you should be forced vaccinated, held down and vaccinated. And all. They were just evil. They're just evil and just nasty and mean and stuff. And I just have empathy for them. Like, how did they get like that? What kind of programming is that you could talk to somebody, especially a woman and a lot of men to me are the worst. I have some women come on there, but a lot of black men, they're just so ignorant. The black liberal guys are the worst. Shout out to black conservatives, because if y'all never really seen what they look like, y'all better look, because they look different. They look different. Their whole vibe is different. Their frequencies are much higher. They look good. They're fit. They're armed. They're fantastic. And if y'all haven't looked at black conservative men, you better go look and see them. Because there's a huge difference from the liberal ones. Guaranteed. Just go look at some of them. The shows I tell you to watch, look at these men. They all look good. All of them. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all. So I'm going to go. I am Shelly B. I thought this was going to be a short one, but as always, I talk myself to death through this. I came on here not feeling so good, but I just love the energy of this, and it makes me feel so much better. And I miss being on here with y'all, and I'm trying to do better, but I just get caught up in work sometimes. But I love y'all. I love you, love you, love you. This means I love you in sign language, and I do. Especially the people that support this channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share the videos, tell a friend, share my shorts, whatever. Do whatever you can to help me. If you're seeing this on Facebook, please go to YouTube and like the channel and subscribe to the channel. Please, I need people to subscribe to this channel. I really, really appreciate it if you do. I love y'all. I really do. I am Shelly B. Get out there and get your ID. Stop it. Get your ID. All you moms out there, get your kids their passports. That is the least you could do for your kid, is to set them up with their proper proof of who they are in this nation, with the way things are going. And y'all talking about y'all African Americans too. You better prove that you're from America because Africans are getting deported. Get it right. I'm telling y'all, just get it right. Get your passports. Get your passports. Don't half step. It's not a big deal. Get your driver's license. Get your social security. Get your birth certificate. Get all of that, and then go get your passport. Go to the post office and get the form. You can download the form online for the passport. Fill it out. Go take your picture and go get your passport. It's the easiest thing to do. And then after you get your passport, save some money and go abroad. Okay? I love y'all. Thank you for being with me. I am Shelly B. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to see you on the next one. Love y'all. Get your ID.